Thanks for coming out on a Wednesday night. Thanks a lot. Give it up for yourselves. Well, we're pretty excited. This is a first in a series. This particular show is a little different than any show in town. And what we're doing here is we're giving newer comics the opportunity to do an audition. And when they get hired, then they get an opportunity to be in the regular pool of comics and get paid to do some work. So thanks for coming out and supporting live comedy. Live comedy is an experience, and it's something you have to be here to feel it, to partake in it. It's kind of like the difference between putting up an artificial Christmas tree and going out in the forest and cutting down a Christmas tree. There's a big difference, and personally I prefer a real tree. Yeah? Yeah? Yeah. All right. So, first of all, I am your hostess with the mostest, Body Mass Index. Yeah. And I'm Patsy B. And just a little bit about myself. My last name is actually pronounced Abatendorfer in German. And Dorf means village. Abaten means like big or brawny. So loosely translated, my last name means fat ass of the city. So today is actually Ash Wednesday. So for Lent, I gave up sobriety and celibacy. In that order. Sassy, right? So I do a lot of driving for comedy, and I remember the first time I'd gone to Cincinnati, I saw this huge billboard that read, "Hell is real." You seen it? Yeah. And when I saw it, I thought, wow, I hope it's not at my exit. Now, about a month ago, I needed to go to Indiana, and I noticed they had their own version of that sign, and it read, "There is no exit from hell." And I'm like, well, that's how I feel about Indiana. Now, here at Columbus, we've had our own series of silly signs. Last summer, there were billboards, had pictures of moms with their babies. In a big print, the billboard read, "Breastfeed, we did it, you can." I'm like, that's a lot of pressure. I never even had a baby. I got the mother of 8 to laugh on that one. That was especially for her. But a few years ago, we had some temporary construction downtown. And we had a street sign that read, "Gay Street, now 2 ways." A few years ago, I noticed this series of bumper stickers. There's an oval bumper sticker that reads 26.2. And if you don't know what that means, it means somebody ran a marathon, which is awesome. But about a week ago, I saw another oval bumper sticker, and it read 13.1, which meant somebody ran a half of a marathon. And I thought, lazy ass and proud of it. I saw a headline in the news, Columbus Dispatch, that read, "North Korea fires missiles into the sea." I'm like, ooh, watch out, Aquaman. Watch out. Really threatening Aquaman. That's bad. So, I'm going to get this show started. Our very first comic coming to the stage, very funny guy. He runs a show in Circleville once a month. He has a very interesting background. I'm not going to share that because I know he'll share that in his comedy routine. He is from Circleville, which I like to call the belly button of Ohio. Let's give it up for Steve Pops Gaines. Woo!
Give it up for Miss Patsy B. All right, Shane's Dinner Theater, yeah! I am very happy to be here, and not just because it's the home of the Cloak and Dagger, But another reason I'm very happy to be here is because my children are not here. It makes me very happy. Now don't get me wrong, I love my children more than anything, but I have 8 of them. And I think they're trying to kill me for the insurance money, quite honestly. The price of the Xbox One, PS4 combined, price of games. Alive, I can't afford those things, but dead, my wife gets $350,000, and I'm just saying they're seeing Lexuses, Grand Theft Auto, that's what they're seeing. So, this could be the last time you see me, quite frankly. So enjoy it. Well, I love having kids. I want to take you on a 10-minute journey of fatherhood, if I could. I'm going to preach you a comedy sermon, if you will, but not from the Bible. I'm going to teach you from the book of Pops. And in the book of Pops, Pops 1, chapter 1, verse 1 says this: teenagers are idiots. Somebody say, preach it, comic, preach it.
Preach it, comic, preach it.
That's not good enough. I will pass the plate if I don't get participation. Every teenager I ever met in my life is an idiot. Okay? When I was a teenager, I was a horrible, horrible idiot. All right? I was such an idiot that my dad didn't talk for 2 years. My dad just grunted and scowled a lot. I would come home and I'd be like, "Hi, Dad, how are you doing?" And he'd be like, it was like a mad dog on the chain. The only reason he didn't rip my limbs off was because he was a police officer and he wanted to keep his job. And then Mom would threaten to not let him in the bedroom. Those are the only 2 things that kept me alive through my teenage years. That's how stupid I was. I was playing basketball, did some damage to the side of the house. Decided to get up on a ladder. I'm fixing the gutter. That's what I'm doing. I'm fixing the gutter because every teenager should be up on a ladder fixing the gutter. I don't want Dad to see it. So what happens is, under this gutter, unbeknownst to me, is a wasp nest. And here come the wasps. And the wasps are flying around, and I go to hit the wasp and hit myself in the head. I wake up and my father is hovering over me. I have some gutter on top of me. I have a ladder on top of me. I said, "Dad, what happened?" And all I could say was, that's all I could say. But I have been repaid by my stupidness by having 3 teenagers of my own right now. I have a daughter that's 18, a boy that's 16, and a boy that's 14. Now, let me tell you about my 18-year-old first. My daughter, my little girl, the only girl I have. I have a daughter and 7 boys. And she was first, not last. That's why people know that I'm insane. Well, my wife's insane, and I like to have sex with her. So really, that's how it works. But my 18-year-old daughter thinks that my pockets are petri dishes for money. And that money grows wildly in my pockets. She said to me the other day, she said, "Dad, I'm going to be going off to college this fall and I need a new car." Now, Shanes, let me paint a little picture for you. I drive a 99 Buick Century that's getting ready to have its 3rd engine put in it. For my entertainment pleasure, I have a cassette deck in my car. That's right. When I want new music, I don't have to go to the mall. I don't have to go to Walmart. And I certainly don't have to download MP3s. I go to the local thrift shop and find me some AC/DC cassette. That's right. I'm still snipping and taking the tape and putting it back together, ladies and gentlemen. Got a pencil in my car, just in case. You know what I'm talking about. And so that's what I'm driving. So I said, "Sissy, listen." I said, "Let me tell you a secret about a new car. You want to know how to get a new car? Let me tell you. The first thing you do is you get a new job. And when you get a new job, they give you this thing that's called a new paycheck. And you take that new paycheck, you go down to the bank, and you open up a new checking account. And you keep putting those new paychecks in that new checking account, and eventually, you can have a new car. And in fact, you can also have brand new car insurance. And for only 15 minutes, you can save 15% or more. And save me 100% of what I spend on you now. And that's what I like, Sissy, that's what I like. My son, who's 16, he's an athlete, but he doesn't know how to pick anything up. He came home from school the other day, he was so excited. It's the first year he's ever lifted weights. He came home and he runs in the house and he goes, "Dad, you won't believe it, I did it. I bench pressed 150 pounds all by myself, 10 times 150 pounds. I said, "You can lift 150 pounds. He said, "I can lift 150 pounds. I said, "You can lift 150 pounds. He said, "I can lift 150 pounds. I said, "Come with me." Took him into the bathroom, closed the door, pointed at the floor, and I said, "How much do you think your underwear weighs, son?" "About 151 pounds." "Come with me." That's the trash. How much do you think that trash weighs, son? "About 151 pounds. So he didn't like that very well, and now he doesn't tell me when he reaches the new plateaus. But hey, the less I talk to teenagers, the better, right? So my 14-year-old, I love him, but he has a problem. He's in the shower nonstop. I think he wanted to... Yes.
It's normal. It's normal.
Thank you. We did a show the other night in Southern Ohio, and they wanted to use hand gestures to tell me what my son was doing in the shower. And listen, okay, my hands break open in the winter, and I can't find the lotion. It's killing me. It's killing me. I can't find the lotion. But he's always in the shower. In fact, he's in the shower so much that they shut our water off. They were just like, "Hey, this is ridiculous." All right? The county has no hot water. This part, we have a big pumpkin we have to grow. And how are we going to grow a big pumpkin if we don't have any water? So the entire city of Circleville shut down, except people that are growing pumpkins, because of my 14-year-old son who will not get out of the shower. He's going to be Aquaman. He's going to be. So now let's talk about my younger children. My younger children, they fight over everything. Right? My four youngest, well, three of the four youngest, the youngest is a baby, I'll tell you about him in a second. But they fight over the video games. And the reason I get upset is because they don't pay for the video games. I pay for the video games. Who does not get to pay or to play video games? The same person who pays for the video games. If anyone should be arguing about not getting to play the video games, it should be me. $60 a game? Are you kidding me? When I was a kid, my dad used to go, $20 for Frogger? Are you out of your mind? The only reason I'm in comedy is to pay for their video games. I'm not even funny. No, that's not. I can't say that more than once, but let me cut that. But my baby, he's 18 months old, and I'll tell you, all my kids were beautiful when they were babies. But every parent says that. And those of you that have ugly children, you need to stop lying so that those of us that do have beautiful children can shine. Because quite frankly, some of you have hideous babies. I see you in the mall, and you come up, and at first I think you're one of those crazy people that have the little dogs that they dress up in baby clothes, you know, and they push them around in a stroller, and then you get up real close and realize it's a real baby, and I'm just like, that's a real baby! Somebody got drunk at the circus. The dog boy had a turn. He should be proud because it's a spit image. By spitting, I mean I spit on the baby. So quit lying about your baby. Okay, not every baby's beautiful, no matter what the grandmother says. Now my baby is 18 months old. Now, I always get kicked out of my bed by sick children. When you have 8, there's always one of them that's sick. It's just the way it works. Okay? Dick Van Patten never told me that on 8 is enough, but that's what happens. So, somehow, this is magical, and moms in the room, raise your hand if you're a mom. Can you tell me how the sick child always ends up on your side of the bed? Somehow, or my side of the bed. They never end up on your side of the bed. My child, when they're sick, every single child of ours, they end up on my side. Never the wife's side of the bed. I asked my wife, I say, "Oh, that's convenient. He's on my side of the bed."
She pushed him over there.
Well, I have to sleep on the couch. Now, this is what happens. The playpen for the baby, it's right beside the couch. Saturday morning, my day to sleep in. Glorious sleeping till 9 a.m. at least. The baby grabs a book while I'm asleep and smacks me in the head.
And he laughs about it.
I wake up, he goes, "Dad, free, free." My baby thinks my name is Free.
Yep.
Because I am against any kind of apartheid or any kind of killing of somebody just because of their age or their race or their color or their sexual preference. And just because he's a baby does not mean he should be locked away. But for that reason, he thinks my name's Free. Well, I come home from work, he goes, "Free, free, free," because he knows I will set him free. One of my heroes had a dream, and it will come true, even for babies. They will be able to run wherever they want, regardless of how much hair they have or balance. They will go wherever they want. Free, free. So that's what happens, you get knocked out. How many of you have stuck to your New Year's resolution? Anyone? Anyone?
Didn't make any.
Hey, we got one back there. Very
Not
good.
bad.
It's Lent, so if you didn't, you have a second chance, right? That's what it's all about.
Lent, you got a second chance.
Second chance to get back
Okay.
on it. I found out that I had high blood pressure. My doctor told me to lose some weight. I said, well, what would you recommend? He said, well, tell me about your lifestyle. As I'm telling him about my lifestyle, he gets the same look that my dad used to get when I was a kid. You know, he's like, I'm like potato chips, like a cheeseburger, laying on the couch and watching football. And he gets done and he says, all you need to do is you need to cut back on your alcohol intake, Mr. Gaines. I said, wrong. The first thing I need to do, because I have 8 children, is find a new doctor. Understands that a man with 8 children has got to drink. He will kill somebody. I'll tell you a story about a 7-year-old named Joe who poops and leaves it. And his father comes in. And what bothers me is not that he left a log. That even happens at work. Men are disgusting no matter what age they are. It's that there's no toilet paper in the What kind of world are we living in when 7-year-olds are abandoning wiping their butt? Now, Fox would say this is Obama's fault. But I think it's the comfy toilet paper that they have. It's too comfy. They're afraid. It's like a pillow. It's like 8 times wider than the toilet paper we had. Remember when we were kids? You would give yourself a prostate examination if you push too hard on that toilet paper. Toilet paper now is basically a towel. I don't think he can get it between his sheets. I told him, I said, Josiah, come to me, son. That's how I talk to my children, like I'm a royal king. I said, Josiah, come to Papa. Let's talk about your poo-poo. Papa sees that your poo-poo is not flushed. I want to teach you the lesson of the flush. That's all it takes, son. One finger. And that one finger that also commands that flush will someday command your wife on your wedding day. Use it well, my friend. And he said, can I have all the popsicles? I said, you're going to eat them all anyway. Because that's what 7 boys do. They eat everything. I have not had a real meal in years. I come home, there's no water because of the 14-year-old shower. And what do I want? I want food. And I get in and you know what's left when I get home? Buttermilk, bologna, and my beer. The doctor wants to take that away. Buttermilk, bologna, and beer. That's why I'm a fat loser who has no self-worth and is going to die alone someplace after I fake my own death and get the kids away from me, give them $1,350,000. I don't care. I just want to live a normal life. But when you're a father of 8 children, you have to be like MacGyver. And those of you that are younger and don't know who MacGyver was, you should look it up on Google. You're not going to waste your time. I think you hate when old comedians do that. You have to be able to fix everything. And plumbing is the worst. And not because any special reason, but you have to get down on the floor. When you're on the floor, those boys will stomp right on your brackets. And as they're eating the last oatmeal cream pie, they will say to you, Daddy, I love you. And that makes it all okay. My name is Steve Gaines. Thank you for having me. Please welcome back to the stage Miss Kathy Lee.
Thank you. Let's give it up for Steve. The original Octodad right there. Now, I'm sure that's not mine. I didn't write that. I'm sure I heard that. So.